Hello YouTube! My name's John and today I'm playing Hexen, Beyond Heretic. Hopefully many of you out there are already familiar with this game. I certainly am. I would actually say that this is, tied, actually, with Doom 2 as my favorite first-person shooter of all time, possibly even my favorite game of all time. I fucking love this game. I can't say enough good things about it. Well, so the reason I'm playing this today is this is the only game I have yet to play Wrath of Cronos with. This is the only compatible game left. So I figured I'd save it for last, as it's, well, for many reasons, because I'm pretty positive the mod was originally designed for just this game, and he's since expanded it out for pretty much every Doom engine game. So I just figured I had to, at some point, play Hexen with Wrath of Cronos, so here we are! And not only that, there's only one class we have yet to play the mod with, and that would be the fighter. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be playing through the original Hexen as the fighter, arguably the most unique class in the game, and they've done quite a few awesome things with him with Wrath of Cronos. Also worth noting, they just released, very recently, version 1.8, so we are going to be running that version of the mod this time around. The usual balance changes, but there's really one particularly notable change. Now there is a shopkeeper, which is basically this NPC that's randomly thrown throughout the game that you can walk up to and buy items with gold. Where do you get gold? Well, now enemies drop gold as well as other random things that they usually do. So now you can kind of kill monsters, collect gold, and if you happen to find the shopkeeper, you can spend that gold on various things like items, armor, you can even buy the accessories that are, you know, like those things that you kind of augment your abilities that you've maybe seen in my previous playthroughs. Pretty cool. So yeah, we're going to be taking a fresh look at that, because I mean, I've only played around with it just enough to kind of see how he works and everything, and it's pretty awesome. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get this thing started. Fighter, and we're going to play on Berserker mode. So here we go. Hexen with Wrath of Cronos. Alright, so first thing we want to do, of course, is set up our skills. One thing they changed, actually, which is kind of interesting, is they made it so you have to press your use key in order to implement your skills. So that's kind of interesting. So one thing I'm going to do, and I'll go into more detail later on of how I'm going to build this guy, but I'm going to first start off by just putting a lot of points in Critical Strike, kind of maxing it out. But then later on I'll go into more detail of how I'm going to play this. Okay, here we go. And there you go, we already got a little bit of gold there, you kind of saw some there. We have 11 gold now. You can see on the bottom right, where my mana and all that stuff is, there's a gold counter. Right now I have 15 gold. Also, you might be noticing the music in the background. So, I'm actually playing the Diablo II soundtrack in the background. I don't know, so how this all came about was, I mean, you know, back in the 90s when games would rely on CD music to provide the background music, at some point during that era of gaming, of PC gaming, I thought that whole idea was awesome, that you could actually like put in a CD and have that be the music of a video game. So of course I would experiment with it. Like, in fact, at one point I played through the entirety of Quake 1 with, if any of you out there are familiar with the band Green Day, they released an album in the mid-90s called Dookie. So when I was playing Quake in the mid-90s, I actually played through the game once listening to Dookie, which I thought was hilarious. So yeah, so long story short, you know, just experimenting with different CDs, with different video games. At one point I was like, I'm gonna use the Diablo soundtrack in Hexen, and actually, honestly, I think it really meshes together really well. Ow, that probably wasn't the best place to stand, but whatever. So yeah, I don't know, and eventually I just kind of came to realize that I preferred the Diablo soundtrack. Not that I think the original Hexen soundtrack is bad, but I don't know. I just kind of it kind of just became a thing where I would just play Hexen with the Diablo soundtrack, so yeah, that's just kind of why I figured I'd do it this time around. By the way, yeah, as far as stats, I think I'm just gonna I usually just throw all my points in the strength and constitution. I mean, I'm sure there are other ways to build the fighter, but that's kind of what I'm going with. And then again, I will elaborate further on what I plan to do with him as we gain more talents and whatnot. And as far as this playthrough is concerned, I'm going to aim for like 20-minute episodes, kind of like I usually do with these, you know, these games that don't really have a beginning and an end in terms of like, you know, like with Doom where there's maps and it's like, okay, I beat the level, next episode will be the next level. So I figured I'd just do 20-minute episodes since this is kind of a, you know, kind of a streamlined sort of game. There we go. I've played this game so many times, man. I can't even tell you how many times I've played it and beaten it. So this won't be very much of a playthrough where I'm like, where do I go next? Because I pretty much have memorized this game, more or less. I mean, maybe there'll be some moments of like, what am I supposed to go next? Oh yeah, but I mean, you know, I generally know what I'm doing. I would hope so. I've been playing this for, I mean, damn, I think it's been out for 20 years, hasn't it? 95, 96? I'm not looking at Wikipedia right now, so somebody write in the comments, wasn't it 1995? Like the original release. Wasn't that 1995? I don't know. That's kind of what my gut is telling me, but write in the comments. I'm sure there are some Hexen aficionados out there who know that date better than I do. That's the other thing. I mean, Hexen with Wrath of Cronos has these different flavors of monsters, as you've been seeing. Like, there's red Ifrits. There's these Hexens that have like mesh or like mail armor, and they throw their maces at people. I always like that in Wrath of Cronos, where there'd be just different flavors of enemies. Just adds a little bit of variety. I mean, of course, you can also use the Doom monster replacement pack and get that kind of effect with Doom. Oh wow, that was a coin chest. I've never seen that before. 50 gold. So I mean, there's other ways you can add variety like that in Wrath of Cronos, but this is just one of the many things I like about the Hexen version, is that there's just, you know, different enemy types. The red ones, I think, just attack faster like that. They throw out more fireballs, and maybe they have more health. And then, of course, there's the blue ones, which we haven't seen yet, but they will show up. And, of course, there's also elite versions of most of the enemies. And, of course, the reagents and whatnot. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and use some of these. There we go. All right. And we go.
Greetings, mortal. Are you ready to die?
I think it's really fitting that this is the music, if you play Diablo 2, this is the music of the first, like, sanctuary, like, camp that you would go to. Because I think it's kind of fitting that this is the music they play in the first hub of Hexen. I don't know. It all just syncs up well. Reminds me of, like, you know, you try to play Dark Side of the Moon with Wizard of Oz or some shit like that. It's like, how in the hell could this possibly sync up so perfectly? I really like playing as the fighter. I mean, the cleric is usually my favorite class in this game, but there's just a lot of fun involved with just running around punching shit and just, you know, having a melee-centric class. I mean, it's just, you know. But I still, my loyalties usually lie with the cleric. He's usually my favorite class, but it's just so much fun playing a fighter. I never have a bad time playing a fighter in this game. Alright. I just want to clear out as many things as possible, kind of rack up some experience points here. I think there might be another one over here. Yep. Come over here. There we go. I mean, might as well. I mean, the shit's gonna be respawning, of course, but I mean, eventually. But, you know, just kind of figured might as well get as much XP as we can. Alright. Alright. Also grabbing plenty of flasks and whatnot. There's all this health here. I mean, we have a little bit of quartz potions. In fact, I might use some of these. There we go. I kind of want to hang on to this stuff until we absolutely need it. This is all here and provided for us, so we might as well, like, make use of it when we actually need it. Because this early on, I don't really have a really easy way to heal myself, aside from the flasks. So, just kind of figured I might as well just take advantage of what's provided so far. Although they are giving us plenty of these, and big ones at that. I guess we've maxed out our mana. We don't get much at the beginning, but... So right now we're sitting at 155 gold. So what I've understood about this shopkeeper is that he seems to spawn on top of what would normally be boots of speed. That's kind of what I've been hearing so far. And that's kind of where I encountered him the first time I did a little test here. So maybe we'll run across him relatively early. Hopefully. I mean, these little maces that the elite Ettins throw out, I mean, they can be kind of devastating sometimes. Alright, let me, yeah, I'll use that. I'll grab one of these little ones. Ah, what the hell. There we go. Which one will it be today? It always changes each time. This one. Okay. Let's see. Now we're moving on to... Well, we have a choice. I tend to go to the Guardian of Fire first, which I think is this one? No, it's not this one. That's the Guardian of Steel, I think. I should know this kind of shit. I'm gonna grab all this while I'm at it. Yeah, that's the Guardian of Steel, I'm pretty sure. Alright, more critical strike, and... yep. Okay, let's see. Let's clear this out quick. Man, they're giving us lots of red ones. These are the Magma Serpents. Their fireballs have AoE damage, and they like kind of spread out like that. Okay. And here we are, Guardian of Fire. Let's hop on in. Ah, there's a blue one. Well, not anymore. The nice thing about the fighter is, even without armor, he can take quite a bit of punishment, especially if you're building the way I do, with so much fucking, constitution. Go ahead and hit that. And let me get one of these ready. Sweet. Grab some of that. And some of that. Okay. I don't think we can go down there yet. No, not yet. But we can go in here, which is what we need to do. And what I like to do for this is just kind of bypass all this bullshit. That's the other thing. The fighter, of course, normally doesn't have as many ranged weapons, but they gave him a little bit more range capability this time around. Namely, with the alternate fire for this. It has a very limited range, but I mean... but it gets the job done if you actually need some ranged attacks. Which actually is not a bad thing to do here. That's because I just want that experience. And now I need the heal. Hey, you know what? Whoa! Look at my health bar. Do you see that? What's happening over there? Why is it flashing? I'm not used to that. Does that just mean I'm like dangerously low on health? Perhaps so. I don't know, I've never seen that before. Okay. So I just kind of stick to this and then just grab the mask. There we go. You know what would be good probably? Is if we actually did a save of this. Hexen. Hexe. Hexe. Hey, Hexe. Alright. Fighter. Thank you. Okay. Probably be a good idea to save our game, you know? I mean, just might be something worth pursuing. Okay, so we have the flame mask now. Yes. Eventually we'll be taking that to the Guardian of, I believe it's the Guardian of Ice. But we have to kind of make our way over there first. Now we don't have as much mana to really make these attacks really powerful, but once we start gaining more strength, it'll kind of make up for itself. We'll be getting there, slowly but surely. Plus, I don't know. I don't mind being this weak so far. It's just kind of fun to hack into things anyway. Oh, you damn bat. So, occasionally centaurs can be these weird imp dudes with shields, who in and of themselves pose a threat, because they can spawn additional annoying things. Okay. Let's hit one of these. And let's clean up what we got out here. And occasionally they can turn into these guys from Heretic. Enough of that nonsense. Okay, we need to go in that door eventually, but... no blocking from that time. I do appreciate shit like that. Okay, let's level real quick. Let's see. Critical strike. And then let's do our usual. Whoops, agility. Alright, well, we have a point in agility. Sure. Why the hell not? I see you over there. I'll be dealing with you. What does agility do again? Wait, hang on. Agility, movement speed, jump height. Oh, yes, yes. Not something we absolutely need. What we do absolutely need is some more health, apparently. Okay. Now we need to go over here. Hit that switch. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We can always go back up this way. Let's grab some more mana, too. Okay. Back in we go. But generally, I'm going to try to keep it balanced between just strength and constitution. I don't think I really have a desire to put any more points in anything else. We'll see. We'll just see what happens as this goes on. I mean, this is only the first episode. I don't have to be dictating exactly how I'm going to spend my points. I have a general idea of what I want to do with my skills, though, but... Alright, back in here. Now we, did I take care of... Yeah, I already took care of those guys. Okay. So now I think we're moving on to this side. Indeed we are. Out of mana once again, but no harm, no foul. What's nice about the respawning enemies is you get some more gold out of them. Well, and more experience, of course, but I mean, you know, the fact that they drop gold now kind of gives you incentive to go back and chase them down, so you have plenty of money to spend. Let me run over here. Might as well take out these guys. Let's save it too while we're at it. Okay. So, sometimes these guys can be nasty and take you out really quickly, but we seem to be doing okay. Come back here. I'm gonna go ahead and open up this trap just for the experience. Did any of these guys drop any reagents? Looks like they dropped quite a few, actually. The Wendigos tend to do that. Let's see. Blue reagents. Alright. That's the other thing. I mean, like, these reagents are much easier to find in Hexen, I would say, than they are in the other versions of the game. Like, various types of enemies will drop them. And it also depends on where you're standing, of course, kind of like in the other versions of Wrath of Cronos. But I mean, some enemies are just more inclined to drop a particular type of reagent. Generally, what I'm trying to say is I just think the mod, like, it just feels so much better in this game, because I feel like that's what it was originally designed for. So, you know. Alright, so let's hop up here. Now, one thing I'm going to try to do here, there's one of two things we could do here, but I'm going to try to do this. Let's see. Just kind of get that going. Let this rise all the way up to the top. Just let it rain icicles all over those bitches. Perfect. Well done. Icicles. How many more do we have? I don't think we have enough to build another one. Nope, we do not. And I'm just gonna go ahead and hop down here. Just want to kill as many things as possible just for the experience sake. Let's see, there we go. Hop up here. And before we go up there, I want to do this. Let's get that guy out of the way. I'll go ahead and use one of those. Well, I could have drank some of those, but, you know, whatever. So now we can go into these two doors. One of the things we need to do, of course, is use our flame mask. We don't really have to equip it, but what the hell. There we go. Now this thing will melt, because all this fire is in the room. At least that's the idea. Present the element of fire and it melts the ice, like so. I used to remember thinking like, oh my god, that's so cool. It's like melting the ice. It's so amazing. Alright. So now we have our flame key, or fire key, I guess specifically. Flame key, fire key, you know, whatever. And we, of course, will be using that in the Guardian of Fire. You gotta be careful around this shit. It can be fucking deadly. Alright, and then we do this. And then shit goes even crazier. Okay. Okay, let's save it. Because I have definitely slipped and fallen to my death several times during this section of the game. And I'm gonna try not to let that happen this time. Steel key! I'm trying to remember where that's used. Oh, that's used in the Guardian of Steel. This is the part of the game where the puzzles are simple. Or at least you'd think they'd be. You use the steel key in the Guardian of Steel. Hey now. Use the fire key in the Guardian of Fire. You know, just kind of introducing you to the game's mechanics, if you will. It's like, hey, you know, you gotta do some shit other than just like, I mean, you're still ultimately finding keys, but I mean, it's like, so you have to use the keys in different places. It's not just like, you know, one set of keys per place. It's not like Doom, man. That's what they're trying to tell us. Okay. Let's try to do this carefully. Okay. What are you doing here? Okay. Oh, I want that gold. Okay, good. Just making sure I didn't grab the gold and then accidentally crush myself. That would not be good. And you, fuck off. Okay, let's hop in here. Alright, well this seems like a good place to stop, actually. So, and plus the CD is skipping. Good old CD music. So, yeah, we'll just stop it here and then pick it up next time. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next episode of Hexen with Wrath of Cronos. Alright, later.